So you know how every time you pick your perfect bracket like I already did, I have my video, go check it out right now for my perfect bracket 1.0, but you know how every time you pick your perfect bracket and you look at it and you're like, if I had another bracket, I'd do things a bit different. I'd just switch up a couple games. Maybe my moods change. Maybe all these other things. That is exactly what I am here to do today. My perfect bracket 2.0. If my 1.0 fails me, guess who is right here to pick me up? I got my perfect bracket 2.0. Today we're doing it on ESPN. Hopefully, I love the CBS one. It's just there was no room outside and I constantly had to keep switching myself back and forth between the screen and it was annoying to edit. But another thing I wanted to bring up, one time I think I picked a second bracket just after I did one of mine, and because there's those times where you're just like, you pick your bracket and then you go in and your bracket's like done within a day and you're like, man, that sucked. I think there was one year that I picked my bracket and I literally picked the opposite of everything I picked in my first bracket. So I think I had like Gardner Webb going to the Final Four or something like that. It was just one of those ones, you get like 64 brackets or something like that, and I was just like, screw it, I'll have a fun one. But perfect bracket 2.0, here we go. One shining moment. It's all right here. Perfect bracket 2.0. Settle in, kick back, relax, do whatever. Perfect bracket 2.0 right here, right now. Kick it off with the West region. We got Gonzaga. Now, I picked them to win this game in my other bracket, but I want to throw money down on App State when it comes. I can legally gamble now. I want to throw down money on App State so bad. And I think I'm going to do it. It's going to be a tough decision. Of course, I'm going to take Gonzaga here, but just in the fun of the spirit of March Madness, throwing down some money on App State, that would make for an exciting night whenever they play. Oklahoma, Missouri, I'm still going to stick with Missouri in this one. UCSB and Creighton, I'm still going to stick with UCSB. So far, I have all the same picks, and you might be thinking, like, what am I doing here? Virginia, going to take that same pick. Here's my first different pick of the whole bracket. USC over Wichita and Drake. That was my first 11-6 upset. I still feel really good about it, but you know what? It's one of those ones that I'm really on the fence about, so I'm going to switch that up this time around. I'm going to take Kansas, I'm going to take VCU still, and I'm going to take Iowa. You know what? Let's finish out the region. Let's go region by region so it's not a pain and a killer to constantly keep switching back and forth on where I need to be on the screen. Gonzaga, Missouri, I'm going to take Gonzaga again. Virginia, UCSB, I'm going to take Virginia. USC versus Kansas, I'm taking Kansas. Here's another switcher up. Took VCU in my original perfect bracket. Let's switch that up and let's go with Iowa here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 all going here. I will take Gonzaga and I will take Kansas, so that's lining up to be the exact same. But a bit of a shocker here. Over Gonzaga, I'm going to take Kansas. I took Gonzaga to the Final Four in my last bracket. I'm going to be taking Kansas to the Final Four. This is a team that I feel good about. Got kicked out of the Big 12 tournament because of COVID. But the Kansas Jayhawks, what is their saying? Rock, chalk, Jayhawk, something like that. Let's move on down. Michigan versus Mount St. Mary or Texas Southern. I'll stick with Michigan. LSU, St. Bonaventure. I'll go LSU. Colorado, Georgetown. I'm going to stick with Georgetown. Did that last time. Florida State versus UNC Greensboro. Going to stick with Florida State. MSU versus UCLA. I'm going to stick with that one. I'm going to stick with Texas. I'm going to take UConn over Maryland, which I didn't do in my last bracket. I'm going to take Alabama. Alabama over Iona there. So continuing on, I took LSU against Michigan in my other one. I did. They're a sleeper team. LSU's a sleeper team. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Sticking with that gut feeling. This is another one. I picked Georgetown to win in my last one. I don't want to be lame. Do I want to be lame and just, I'm taking Florida State, whatever. MSU, UCLA versus Texas. I'm pretty sure I took Texas in my last one, but I really feel like this could be an 11 seed, a double-digit seed that could go far. Whoever it is, MSU or UCLA, it just doesn't feel right to pick against them. Let's go with those boys, and I'm taking Alabama against UConn. LSU versus Florida State. I picked LSU to the Elite Eight in my last bracket. Does their amazing run stop here? No, it does not. I'll take LSU, and I'll take the SEC rematch yet again in the Elite Eight. In my Cinderella team going on, I had Alabama winning my last bracket. I had them going out in the Elite Eight here. I'm taking the LSU Tigers. It's my perfect bracket. It's not your perfect bracket. You can calm down. I'm taking LSU. Go Tigers. Real Death Valley. Yeah, let's roll. Let's go on down to the South region. Baylor, Hartford. Slap that. Baylor. North Carolina, feel really good about. Going to take them. Here's another change. This was one I was really on the fence with. I took Villanova in my original one. Let's go with Winthrop, the 12th seed going on here against Villanova. Purdue and North Texas going to stick with Purdue. Utah State versus Texas Tech. I picked Texas Tech in my last one. Going to switch that up. Let's go Utah State there. Arkansas, going to stick with them. Florida, going to stick with them. And Ohio State, I'm going to stick with them. Going on to Baylor, North Carolina. I took North Carolina in my last one. Oh, this is getting tough. I really like North Carolina in this, but you know what? Switch it up. We'll go with Baylor. I'll take Purdue. I'll take Arkansas. And I picked Florida in my last one. I did pick Florida, but I'm going to go with Ohio State here. I'm going to go with Arkansas, and then I'm going to go with Baylor. And then let's move on. Oh, shoot. These brackets get so much harder each and every time I do them. Got to put the hat forward. Got to put my thinking cap on for a second. Screw that. Turn that back around. These are getting tough, ladies and gentlemen. Baylor. Whatever. Baylor's the number 1 seed for a reason. And you cannot just have... It's usually you get 2 1 seeds, you have a 2 or a 3 seed, and then you have a higher seed in the Final Four. That's the format that I go with all of my brackets, and that's what I'm going with here. So it's no surprise who I'm going to take in this one. Illinois... I'll take Loyola Chicago again. Oregon State versus Tennessee. I'm still going to take Tennessee there. Liberty is my big upset of the first round. I had them beating Oklahoma State, and I'm going to stick with that here. San Diego State versus Syracuse. I picked San Diego State in my last one. I'm going with Syracuse here. West Virginia or Morehead State, going with West Virginia. Clemson or Rutgers. I took Rutgers in my last one because I'm a big Gamecocks fan. Never like picking Clemson, and I'm going to do the same there. Take Rutgers and take Houston. Illinois, Loyola, Chicago. Going to stick with Illinois there. I picked Liberty in my other one. I did. I made a gutsy move and had Liberty going on to the Sweet 16. Is that the greatest decision in the world? It's up for you to decide. I'm going with Tennessee here. Go Rocky Top. You got Syracuse and you got West Virginia. Syracuse could be a sleeper team. Syracuse really could be a sleeper team. I'm going to go West Virginia here. And this is another one that I picked. I picked Rutgers to beat Houston in this one. I'm going to go with the Cougars in this one. Going on, Illinois, Tennessee. Let's give me Illinois. And then, what do we got? Houston, West Virginia. I'll pick Houston. Going with Illinois. And that leads us to our Final Four. What a Final Four we have. We have the 2 higher seeds going at it and then the 2 1 seeds. The 2 1 seeds, let's start off with that one. Baylor versus Illinois. I think Illinois is the best team in all of college basketball. I'm going to put that out there now. Gonzaga. Yes, they're undefeated right now, but the competition that Illinois had to play this year and the way they played Michigan just a couple weeks ago, really dangerous, really dangerous team, and they just won the Big Ten championship. I really like Illinois here. LSU versus Kansas. I want LSU to be the Cinderella story so bad. I really love that team. Watford, you got smart, lots of good, likable players on that team, but I just think if I'm crazy if I don't go with Rock Chalk Jayhawk, whatever their chant is. Illinois versus Kansas, finishing it off. Who am I going to pick to win this bracket? Last out, I had Alabama. My Final Four was Gonzaga, Alabama, and then I had Illinois and North Carolina. North Carolina was my big seed in that one. And then I had Illinois and Alabama in the finals. This time around, I got Illinois and Kansas in the finals. I'm going to take Illinois here. Final score, blah, 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 blah. It's probably going to be somewhere around, I'll go 91 to Illinois is probably going to blow them out of the water. So I'll go 91-82. I'll make it somewhat close. So that is my video for today. Perfect Bracket 2.0. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what your perfect bracket is. Because if I have enough brackets, I might use that. I need a perfect bracket. I already got 2. But the more perfect brackets I can get, the better chance I have to win. So send me your perfect bracket. Love to see that down below. I'm not expecting you to type out the whole thing. Just tell me who's going to win or whatever. I may make another one tomorrow because you know what? My mood's constantly changing. That's something that's so much fun about March Madness is the ones where I've shut off my bracket. The one I picked yesterday is the one I'm using in my pools and everything. I'm not changing that. There's no chance I'm going to change that because I hate when you change it and then you change like one game and then it screws up your whole bracket because it turns out you were right the first time. Worst feeling in the world, but it's just the fun of March Madness. Moods are constantly changing. This was a great video, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the March Madness games that are coming up. It's going to be a great weekend this weekend, and definitely come back next time.